what is Microsoft Fabric? If you have no idea about this, if you haven't heard of it before, then just a quick primer to that. It is really an end-to-end solution for data engineering, data science, and also dashboarding with Power BI, basically. So it's a relatively new service that came up in, if I'm not mistaken, 2022. So what this actually means is a relatively young product. It is still growing. Is a lot of stuff still in development by Microsoft, but this is a very strong solution. But you really have an easy, understandable way to get what you want to achieve with your data. So Power BI has been around for a longer time, and Power BI has also been a longer time a web-based solution. Actually, I think it's 2019 or 2018, around that. And software as a service solution was also something that is not really new. For example, Azure Synapse has also been a solution for that, for data warehouses. But it was always a bit a separate part of everything. So with Microsoft Fabric, we have something that actually everything is coming together and working together very nicely and very easy to understand. So it's also a software as a service solution for data warehouses. You have actually everything in your browser, and you can work it that way. You have also Apache Spark. About Spark under the plate, basically. That's basically the core engines, apart from ETL stuff, which I'm talking about later. So the Apache Spark basically is an open source platform that actually has also a quite long history, and has been very successful in distributing nodes for very efficient calculation power. That means if you have a lot of data, you distribute the calculation to the different computers, nodes. So you have the possibility to distribute the calculation that way. You have like I said before, in Microsoft Fabric, the possibility to use no code, low code to build probably almost everything you can also do in notebooks. Sometimes actually you perhaps even want to mix it. That's also a possibility. It's never excluded. So I personally like to use notebooks because this is oftentimes very efficient, because you really can also profit from libraries that, for example, PySpark provides, and you can use them. But sometimes no code, low code is also a possibility to use and very convenient to use. In notebooks, you have actually the possibility to code not only in Python, PySpark. You also can use pure Python. You can use R or RSpark. You can use Scala and Spark SQL. So it's a SQL. If you know T-SQL, so that's like the SQL language from SQL Server, then you will likely know most of the things that the Spark SQL provides. There are some differences. The dialect of kind is actually more the ANSI standard than T-SQL, while T-SQL is pretty close to the ANSI standard of SQL. It is not exactly the ANSI standard, but it's actually the extended code SQL by Microsoft. T means transact SQL by Microsoft. So T-SQL is a Microsoft language. The Spark SQL is actually very much, or even 100% compliant with SQL, ANSI SQL. So that's all possibilities you have. You also can use HTML. I have didn't list it here as well because HTML is not really a programming language, but